Ay,
Ayo with the mayo.
took a hiatus, but I came back a chemist. Too much prosthetics in the game, it's hard to stand it. Too much focus on how much Lucy's y'all.
Alright y'all, welcome back to another one of my cooking experiments. You know, when I see it, I gotta do it. I saw this recipe on Facebook for some cheesy garlic bread, garlic bombs, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it got cheese and it got bread. So I'll go on ahead and I started with my butter. I melted it in the microwave. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and season it to my liking. You know, some people, they like their food bland. It just depends on what you want for your seasoning. Go ahead and take that parsley, because you know you can't have too much nigga sprinkles. Like, parsley always has to go on everything, in my opinion. You know, it just make it look appetizing. Heavy-handed on the parsley. Next, we're gonna go ahead and take some garlic and pepper. Go ahead and sprinkle a little seasoning in there. In my opinion, I like the garlic powder more than I like the onion powder. I don't really like onion taste, but you know, everybody's taste buds are different. After that, you want to make sure you mix it up, sauce it down, you know, do what you gotta do. It's going to be, if you melted the butter correctly, it's gonna be like a liquid consistency. If it's too salty at the end of the day, you can always put some milk to balance that. Then it'll just be buttermilk. There's nothing wrong with that. So now we're just going ahead and take our croissants, because you know I ain't had time to make no bread from scratch. You can make bread from scratch, but then you have to buy extra ingredients, and who? Alright, go ahead and pop that thing. Pop! Okay, let's go. Now we got our buttery biscuits. I chose the butter flavor. You know, if your taste buds off, you can go ahead and choose some sweet biscuits, but sweet and okay. Alright, you have to do all that. Sweet and salty, I mean, it all depends on you. I'm not going to tell you what you like and what you don't like. Just go ahead and get some biscuits. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, so if you have used biscuits before, you know that they come in layers to make them flaky when you actually do cook actual biscuits. For this, we're not going to use the whole biscuit, because then it'll be too much bread, and then like the ratio of bread and cheese is just going to be off. And like, I don't know about you, but I like cheesy. I like my stuff cheesy. So I want to taste the cheese more than I want to taste the bread. So at this part, we're just going to go ahead and spread it out. Spread it out on the counter, spread it out on the plate, do what you like. I did clean my counters, I cleaned my plate, I washed my hands. As you can see throughout the video, my hands are ashy, but it's okay. Bam! Okay, to stop playing with them. That's that spread, you feel me? Spread your bread, you feel me? Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and take that butter garlic spread that we created in the beginning. We're going to use, I don't really know what those brushes are called, but clearly you see it's a brush. So we're going to go ahead and use that. If you don't have one, use a spoon, use your fingers. Just make sure you wash your hands. Alright, so we're only going to butter one side for right now, because as you can see in the video, if you watch the rest of the video, we're going to end up spreading butter on the other sides when we put it into the casserole dish. So don't worry about doing the other side. Plus, it does get a little messy because the butter is everywhere. That's why I didn't put mine on the counter. I rather did it on the plate. Alright, so go ahead and take your casserole dish. I can't even speak. Casserole dish. And go ahead and butter the sides, butter the bottom, because you don't want the bread to stick. And then you also want the pieces that you didn't get butter on, because you're going to end up rolling it. You also want the pieces to take some butter in, so just go ahead and do that. It's kind of like you bake a cake or some cookies. Just butter the pan. That's it. Bam, okay, butter. Alright, so our next step, we're going to go ahead and take some cheese. Choose the cheese of your liking. I chose the Mexican blend because it had all the cheeses in it. And like I told you, I like my thing cheesy, okay? So you're going to go ahead and you're going to start with one of the biscuit pieces. You're going to spread it a little bit just so you don't tear it when you try to stuff the cheese in there. You're going to just make some space for that cheese, you feel me? Go ahead and roll it into a ball, roll it into a dumpling, you know. If you want to do a little design, go ahead and get your little design on, a little artsy craft, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this for every single piece that I have here. I don't think I'm going to use all pieces. I didn't end up using all pieces, so I'm just going to fit as much as I can in the casserole dish. It just depends on how big your dish is, so you're going to go ahead and do that. Stuff. Alright, so I went ahead and I stuffed my casserole pan as much as I can. I did want the biscuits close to each other so that it will be like pull apart pieces. Now, like I told you in the beginning, we didn't butter the other side because we're going to go ahead and butter it right now after they've been rolled. And don't worry about the bottom. You've already buttered the bottom of the casserole pan, so the bottom doesn't have to be buttered as you're doing this part right here. So just go ahead and apply as much butter as you want. Just do it. So y'all gonna tell me that thing don't look fire already? Come on now, come on. Go ahead and use up the rest of that butter. You want to get the crevices, you want to get the creases of the pan. Just make sure your biscuits are buttered. Like when I say the butters, yes, when I say butter, just go ahead and butter it everywhere. Go ahead and hang in there. If you're not hungry by the time you're making this, like that means your food ain't fire. Come on now, I'm just playing. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take the rest of our cheese that we had. We're gonna get it and sprinkle it on top. You know, garnish. You gotta garnish it with the cheese. Maybe put some nigga sprinkles if you want to, but you know, I ran out of cheese, so I had to go get me some more. But that mozzarella gonna hit every time. Every time. So what I did here is I made a little too much butter, but you know, butter make it taste better. So I went ahead and I sprinkled as much butter as I can on top of my cheese. It don't matter, it's all gonna soak in the bread anyway. So just go ahead and use the rest of that. If you want to use it for something else, you can save it. It's butter. It's good until it expires. I don't know what to tell you. But this is how it should look before it goes into the oven. Of course, everybody's just going to look different depending on the seasonings they use. Go ahead and put that thing in the oven. Bah! Alright, so after it came out of the oven, I think I put it in there for like maybe 10 to 12 minutes. That thing look fire, okay? Who you know? Alright, so as you can tell, I've been cooking that night, so I had everything laid out, but don't worry about the food in the back. I will record what I made, but this is how it looks, and it looks, oh, I'm gonna drop it. This is how it looks, and it looks so good. I had to get in the way of the camera, you feel me? That's how good it was. So after I finished blocking y'all view, that thing was fire. Look how the cheese, when I say cheesy, look how the cheese just separate. Steamy. Okay. Okay. So these are my experimented cheese bombs, and I think my experiment went very well. Don't try this next part at home. I did try to touch the cheesy bombs with my fingers, knowing that I just took it out the pan, took it out the oven. I didn't even give it time to rest. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Hot. 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 Ouch. Okay. take two the right way. Look at how that cheese separates. But I really hope you liked this video. It really was good. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.
For every L I took, I need some Cuban links. The last shall be first, right? So I'm tryna bling. I know I gotta pace myself, but I need it.